Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down under the nitty-gritty, under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very, 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 very important. It's not important to liberals, libertards, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listener's discretion is advised. Going down the rabbit hole, not up your asshole, okay, I'm one and only Real Alpha on here, and Indigo Child. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop calling myself Alpha, because people have been calling me Sigma, but I'm really Indigo. I'm actually above all of them, okay, because I do not have sins in my past. I'm the only one that can say that. There's a lot of guys who will say, oh, I said, do you have any sins in your past? They'll say, oh, yeah, I did. So then, I'm different from you. I'm not trying to roast myself or capo myself or lie or anything like that. If I tell you about my history, then you understand. But you don't know me, you could please read my description down below. We are going to talk about this subject. If you have any comments, questions, or insults or roast fest, you put it down below. I don't look for validation or attention for my videos. Alright, I'm the one who started the Kevin Samuels and the Passport Boys. Yeah, I work behind the scenes. I use magic, by the way. Okay, so that's another subject for another day. Like I said before, check out my credentials down below, and you know how to get in touch with me if you're not a hoe. Okay. All right, let's begin with the topic. As I've mentioned this in the past, before this blew up, okay, right now I'm working on paternity fraud, okay? I've already worked on the freedom of speech and the problem. I already worked on the Joe versus Wade, okay, and the magic just happened like that because I was getting tired of guys getting taken advantage of. And I kept telling people, stop talking about Trump, and so now we're going to have some consequences for that, because I kept telling people, hey, you just have to understand Trump, okay? You just can't go about saying he's a bad president because the way he word things. You can't do that. It's his actions, okay? His actions is more important. But we're not going to talk about that here. Let's go on with the videotape. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. This is about cybernetics in the future, okay? Synthetics, okay? Robots taking the place of women who are incompetent to do their job in the household. And of course, when there's no hell's fury in a man's scorn, so when a man gets upset, he's going to start tinkering with things to replace the sorrow and emptiness, because nobody really pays attention to men's mental health. So this is the problem right here. This is the conundrum. This is the problem, okay? And I've mentioned this way back in 2012 to 2013 about the cybernetic system. When I start thinking about something, fire starts to burn, things start to happen. But let's begin with this video. Okay, this is not copyright. It's going for educational purposes. I may not even be watching the whole video of this, but I'm going to put down the link below so you can actually watch the whole thing if you want, because I'll be talking through this whole video. Okay? I'm going to randomly pick different sectors, okay? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about as proof and evidence if women don't wise up. Okay, like in my past, I've dealt with a virgin female who had a father figure, and I try my best to do polygyny and virginity because only alphas do that type of shit. But the thing is that, they can become corrupt. And this is the real reason why these robots are going to be coming. So let's watch the video. Shall we begin? Okay, I'm going to fast forward this sometime, okay?
Did you know that Japan uses robots a lot in almost all of its businesses?
ちょっと美人すぎて驚きですよね。なんてね。まあ、冗談は置いといて、そんなアンドロイドの私ですが。
In fact, robots are responsible for more than 60% of the work done in various industries in Japan, making it currently one of the most high-tech countries in the world. Since the 1950s, Japanese scientists have been very interested in making robots that can act like actual people. Japan has done a lot of great work in robotics, and it is said that they are the most innovative country when it comes to...
A lot of people don't know this,
but
if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you could be using it to make upwards of $10,000 a month in automated tasks.
To robots.
Can't stand the commercials.
How would you feel about seeing a robot that can talk, walk, and do pretty much everything humans can with ease? Japan has shown us a lot of crazy robots over the years, but recently they've taken things a step further by developing fully functional female robots. Here in this video, we will talk about how incredibly lifelike these female robots are, how they work, and their purpose.
And also, I want you guys to understand something here. There's no hate on women. It's just that women and men, too, have not had alpha fathers in their past. And so what happens is that women and men choose accordingly to their free will. Okay, not because of discipline, not because of the consequences long term. Most people in general, especially women, do not think long term. 9 times out of 10, when you have women focusing in on getting divorced by 70%, is because they didn't have the proper tools to learn how to be focused on being content and knowing how to respond and reciprocate a man's emotional needs back to him. It's very important to stay in a relationship. Like I said before, I'm not going to watch this whole video, but I'm only going to pick out certain things in this video to prove a point what I was mentioning many, many years ago. Let's finish, okay?
That being said, let's get started. Japan has made a lot of different humanoid robots that serve different purposes. But since artificial intelligence has become more advanced, robotics experts in Japan have taken their success with humanoid robots to a whole new level. The robot women that Japan just released are not like ordinary robots. These fully functional female robots are what you would call biobots, which are robots that can almost perfectly act like real people. First of all, these robots are very flexible. Their joints are made so that they can move their hands like humans can.
And what I want to say about artificial intelligence is very important here. Elon Musk said it himself, okay? He's already in hot water anyway because of the big banks that control his soul. They would have shut down his whole entire corporation because of the banks, okay? And he knows that there is a tyranny amongst us that's coming soon. And when you have robots, and he has been warning people for a year or two right now, he thought that robots would actually benefit men. It's the programmers that is their job to make sure that these robots understand that they are partners. They should not have full conscious awareness, and that's what will create the Terminators. You don't want that. If these robots get into the hands of the wrong people, we will have a conundrum. There will be a big major problem. Some people want to weaponize robots. To weaponize robots is good, but then it can be bad. Okay, but the thing is that America should be number 1 in the world because it's the freest country of the world, unlike China and other countries. But that's another story for another day. But let's continue on here. What these artificial intelligences can do for men, most likely men, because men's mental health is in dire need of affection and love. Let's begin. Let's finish. Let's continue.
And aside from being so physically flexible, these robots also have a variety of facial expressions. The more these robots interact with humans, the more they learn about how humans react. A truly intelligent AI technology. Even though their expressions wouldn't always be perfect, over time, they would only get better and better. The more it talks and interacts with you.
And also, I want you guys to understand that there are plenty of men who want to have children. Nobody really thinks about what men want, okay? So they're going to implement that this channel is Robot Future, okay, by the way. And in this video, it's going to be talking about all these different little tiny tidbits of things I was talking about. The bioengineering of it is genius, okay? Because I know they can do it. I know I have visions and dreams of human incubators, okay, and people can do artificial insemination, okay, so these things can be implemented into the cyborg itself, okay? But let's continue on out here.
The better the experience. From the way they move, talk, and behave, the resemblance of these female robots to actual Japanese women is uncanny. And not only do these robots look beautiful and act incredibly realistic, but they also feel like actual human beings. Apparently, these female robots are covered inside and out with silica gel, which is a special type of chemical that feels just like human skin.
Also, I want to mention another thing too. The feminist movement is going to hate these robots, okay? There is a movie out there. I think it's called Lifelike, okay? Yeah. And also, there's another movie that came out, which was that girl that was dancing around, okay? Susie or something like that. And, but anyway, women will hate these robots because of the fact that they're going to be looking at them as property, okay? And men don't really want a piece of property. They just want someone to respect them mentally. But women, the feminist movement, and effeminates, and a lot of social justice warriors will look at this as the demise of society. But it's really not, because women always do artificial insemination. They even have clinics for women to get artificially inseminated by Michael Jordan types, okay? You know, so they can have babies that are born by athletes, and they'll pay an arm and a leg. But nobody really talks about the men's side of them wanting children, okay? You understand? Capiche? This is wrong. Everything is one-sided. And in most foreign countries, even when I travel to Ethiopia, to the Gambia, I see mostly lonely men, average-looking Joe Smo men. And a lot of times they will never, ever see a woman's vagina. They don't even have porn in these poorer countries. So this is a very big problem for society as a whole, okay? But it will be a beautiful thing to have children without worrying about, okay, you know, a woman being attached to it, especially a woman who is more likely to be unstable. But to each his own. Let's continue the video.
Developers were also able to make them feel warm to touch, just like human temperature. And what's truly amazing is that the robots are so lifelike that some say they can possibly give birth. Yes, it seems that human and robot procreation is no longer impossible. The insides of these robots are reportedly the same as those of a real person, which would mean that these robots can have the capability to give birth using a test tube birth device in the future. Though it has not been tested yet and ethically controversial, it seems highly possible in theory. It's only a matter of time before the idea gets put into reality. As impressive as all these qualities may already be, the developers took things even a step further. Can you guess what other feature they added? Well, it is none other than customization. You can customize the robot you're going to buy according to your taste. Apparently, you can change its height based on whether you want it to be shorter or taller. Not only that, but you would also be able to change the body's shape and size. You could make it skinny, average-sized, or even fat. And even smaller details such as clothes, hair color, and eye color can be customized. This really does remind us of the song Build A.B. by Bella Poarch.
You know, there's a movie out there which is called Ergo Proxy, okay? It's an anime, okay? Ergo Proxy. It's a very dark anime in which this female who is the protagonist of the anime, she's a detective and so forth, and these robots are going crazy, okay? There should never be a time when robots should be getting in malfunction mode or having a malfunction and killing human beings, okay, because of moss, okay? But you should watch it. It's called Ergo Proxy. You know, I recommend that movie highly. I never watched the whole entire thing, but it was so interesting from the beginning to the end. But there will be safe measures for these cyborgs, for cybernetics, okay, created through cybernetics, to make sure to prevent any kind of negative, perhaps, thing to bad happen to anybody who purchases these things. These robots are not expensive. I mean, these robots are expensive. They're going to be expensive. So I highly doubt. I'm not interested in none of these type of stuff. But me, I'd rather reach for the real thing by going overseas. If I reach it for high hanging fruit, because I know the psychology of women overall. But other than that, for the rest of you guys who don't know the psychology of women or how the court systems work, you might have to purchase one of these. I've seen so many guys purchase these things, and you heard what he said. It was sold out. Okay, so you know when the first batch was created, it was sold out because there's far more lonelier men in the world who have never seen a vagina before, okay, than women. But let's continue on now here.
Aside from being incredibly human-like, these robots are so intelligent that they can practically be anything you want. In fact, the robots have a really powerful chipset that allows them to connect to many different electronic appliances. You can connect it to almost all of your devices, from the TV to the washing machine. It comes with a remote control, so you can tell it to do simple tasks like washing clothes or cleaning the house. These robots are so incredible that they impressed thousands of people. Not only did the invention become immensely popular very quickly, but a lot of people were interested in these robots and wanted to buy them.
でも
Also, not trying to be a chauvinist, like I'm all for men or anything like that. I'm really focused on men's mental health. I'm not all for men, but I know women who haven't been taught. It's usually their fault if they don't want to be accountable for things, but men always been going their own way. The thing is that women can get robots too, okay? They always been using toys and stuff and butterflies and stuff to keep themselves satisfied sexually. And this is a problem for society because when women can't control their sexual urges, they tend to not really be focused on the relationship long term, okay, by the way. As I said before, I am a Gen X. This is all unscripted here. I can do this over and over and over again, but I'd like to talk about many other things like skinwalkers and aliens and other races and species of beings because I'm esoteric. Unlike other guys who think themselves as alphas and sigmas, okay? Please, guys, when you don't have any magic, okay, you're a Moogle, okay, like in Harry Potter, okay, you can't say shit, okay? Shit won't happen for you. You need to come to guys like me, and even women, and you women in between, hermaphrodites, come to me to get the knowledge, because I don't give all my knowledge on the internet. I just don't do that, okay? I'm not an Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels. I even tried to warn Kevin Samuels, hey, you become too popular. You gotta get off the air. I told him, but he didn't hear me. And he probably died from Blue Bull. And much likely he probably got assassinated by that female, the last female he was dealing with, because, you know, we lost touch with each other many years ago. But other than that, that's all I really want to say, guys. But let's continue on with this video. We might just let it finish because there's only 3 more minutes left, okay?
私は人そっくりのロボットのアンドロイドですからね。そう、私はロボットなんです。ちょっと美人すぎて驚きですよね。なんてね。まあ、冗談は置いといて、そんなアンドロイドの私ですが、人間とロボットが仲良くなれる未来のための研究に取り組んでいます。私の目指す未来は、ロボットが単に人間の代わりとして働くのではなく、ロボットが社会の一員として認められ、人と共存するものです。
Also, a mental note, there will be male trolls, these Derek Jackson type simp pandas out there who will look down on my videos. I really don't care, or call me a pedophile because I see of age virgins, or, you know, they try that shit. I went to the Gambia and there'll be guys hating on my videos for trying to help them out in the long run, but they are haters, you know. Please, guys, don't do that. Okay, I already know who you are, okay? As I said before, I've been taught by pimps and a bit of Italians who told me the rules of the lands of the law, okay? The common sense factors of know thyself and everything else, you know, through common sense. But there are guys who just don't know me, okay? And when they start hating without asking me or doing any videos, if you haven't seen us, you know, talk between each other on a video, then you shouldn't listen to what they have to say, okay? Because there are a lot of guys who hate on the truth. They just don't want it. And if you want to listen to guys like Derek Jackson, okay, or even Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate, you're going in the wrong direction by listening to any of these individuals, okay? Because I don't teach anything what they teach. I teach a little bit more higher standard of knowledge, okay? But anyway, I digress here. Let's continue on with the video.
単なる機械としてではなく、パートナーとして、互いに気持ちを尊重し合える、そんな社会です。そのためにも、人の気持ちを理解し、私自身の気持ちも理解できるよう頑張っています。
In fact, these robots sold out just a few days after they came out. But why exactly were these robots built? For what purpose were they created? Experts in Japan believe that the invention helps ease the imbalance between men and women. If there are more men in a population than women, having female robots would help even out the population. The robots will be paired with the men, leading us to our second purpose, which is to satisfy the physical and psychological needs of people. Finding a partner can be a challenge for a lot of people, especially those who are very busy with their lives.
Yes, also finding a partner for those people who are disciplined, who are truly alpha in their knowledge, okay, who are indigo or even sigma, if you want to call yourself that shit. Understand this. If you're a person who is of high value and you have higher standards of values, And also, it's going to be hard for you if you try your best to look for any ordinary person, okay? But there was a website called elite.com, okay? And I had posted my, my credentials on what my standards are, and they're pretty high, okay? I'm even on Match.com and eHarmony. I'm on one of the #1 top sites, okay? But I noticed that I couldn't get in, even though my credentials is very eccentric and different and abstract. And I'm like, that shouldn't be like that, okay? They're probably looking at an algorithm and your patterns or something like that, and they're going on their own biases to let you enter. But that's like one of the hardest sites to get on, elite.com, a dating site. And I was like, why is it so hard to get on this dating site? Dating sites are not good for men overall. It's not. But I met my first wife, and she was a virgin through a dating site called The Heart of Asia Online. And they had to register me. I registered myself and get verified on that site. And I ended up meeting her and talking to her after 5 years, which was pretty interesting because I was in some kind of trouble and stuff, which I shouldn't have been. But somehow you kind of run into trouble naturally. That's what life brings you. But other than that, that's what I wanted to say about that online shit and why these robots have to be made, okay? These robots have to be made is because if there's more lonely men to balance things out, okay? And as I said before, if you're a person who's astute, okay, you're going to have problems with majority of society, okay? There are far more astute men than there are women. Factually, common sense of course, everything's being built by men, and naturally. But this is where it comes down to when you can come home to something, or even you can have your own children through artificial insemination. It's a great idea, okay? Let's continue.
According to the developers, these robots were created and targeted specifically towards the otaku audience. For context, otakus are people who have taken a liking to anime, manga, video games, or computers. They are known to have a smaller social circle either from being busy or from being shy. Therefore, this robot can be a great product for them to get rid of their loneliness.
Exactly. There's a far more downside to being someone intellectual or busy, or just like what he said, okay? These people are just, it's a lot of men like this, okay? Now, I'm not talking about the beta alpha males. I'm talking about mainly beta males. And usually 9 times out of 10, when beta males get wrapped up or trapped into marriage, I try to tell them to get out of that marriage immediately because it's not worth your time. They usually get taken to the trash later on. And, as I said before, women initiate divorces by 70%. And this is why the reason why these guys need these type of services from these androids, so they can have mental stability with themselves. Because if it wasn't for porn, okay, and if it wasn't for video games, a lot of women will be dead, okay, because of the anger and the stored up sexual energy because men have more sexual energy stored up than women do, okay, because most women lose their virginity at the age of 13, okay, that's what they say, almost worldwide, okay. But let's continue on to finish this video. I'm pretty sure it's pretty long.
For busy people or for people who don't get many opportunities to socialize, this robot is perfect. This product became really popular.
And also for indigo children, because I definitely can't be around people. I do not have sins in my past. I do not socialize with people, okay? I don't like it, okay? As a matter of fact, since I'm so empathetic, I have to try to, suppress that empathy down to a certain amount of people when I test them, okay, through their trials and tribulations of them being around me. That's why I only do Patreon. I don't do everything what everybody else likes to do because I'm unique and eccentric in my own way. Not trying to be arrogant, it's just who I am. And there are lots of people like me, okay, maybe 144,000. That's what the Bible and a lot of religious texts be saying. There are certain indigo people who are just not outright respected or recognized, okay? And so when you have people like that with no sins and they haven't really been around, I met too many of them, especially in underdeveloped countries. They don't have a chance. And it's the men who don't have a chance. But because most women, when they are innocent, they tend to change. But men do not, okay? Because they have no choice. They have no option, okay? And other than that, let's finish this video so we can end it.
Especially with men who stay inside most of the time.
See?
The robot actually became so good that people who have experienced this product...
Also, I want to mention this another thing, too. Most of the men who are like this, who are inside playing games, being distracted, who are intellectuals, who basically mind their own business and shit, are basically average-looking Joe Schmoes. when most women don't like average looking men. They just don't. This is what they told me, and this is what I know. I get it from the horse's mouth. When they deal with an average man, they usually, pass him off, okay, or use him for later on, okay, because women are bigger narcissists by fact and by far. Okay, let's look at statistical reports. We don't even need to discuss that, okay? But as I said before, I don't hate on women. I try to offer services to women, do my professional services, and I do have it down there below, okay, for women to offer services, to pay payments and stuff. Kind of like Kevin Samuels, but way more cheaper. I'm not the type of person that's like, want to charge you an arm or leg. You can even join in the first tier, to the second, to the third. It doesn't matter. If you need someone to talk to, women, I know women won't get this far into the video, but it's okay. Because I've been doing this for many years, okay? And you have a chance to see my Patreon down there. That's the best way. Or donations through my PayPal. It's okay. I don't like doing YouTube. I don't want to be popular like Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate. Because I'm eccentric. I'm different, okay? Introverted, okay? All right? I'm actually an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs report. I'm just completely unique from all of this shit. But anyway, let's continue on.
Have reported feeling like they don't need a human girlfriend anymore. How about
it's
you?
High risk, high liability.
Would you consider having a robot lover like they do? What do you think about this crazy invention by Japan? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to be notified with more videos about cool robot technology.
Now, the thing is with this video, I will send you the link down below so you can watch the whole thing in full. I actually watched the whole thing and actually gave commentary and educational pointers in this video. It's called Robot Future, okay? And he only has 21,000 subscribers. I seek no subscribers. See, my subscriber base is very small because there's too many people who are biased and they fit in with everybody. So that's why I make my videos as cringy as possible. Because to get people off because they're looking at an image instead of listening to the knowledge, the message to my madness, okay, But other than that, that's all I really want to say about this video. I don't really want to talk about robots too much, but I'll talk about it as long as there are robot videos, okay? The new technology, and every year new technology comes out to improve and evolve these cyborgs, okay, or androids, okay, through cybernetics, okay? And eventually the men who are left out in the cold will be more happier than trying to find a physically fleshly female, okay, But other than that, as a matter of fact, men can make it better, make the pussy better, okay? I saw some contraptions for men and I'm like fucking shocked, okay? Give me that, okay? I remember, yeah. Okay, but anyway, I digress. I hope you learned something from this video. Okay, if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. And guess what I'm going to say? I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.